one of the biggest things with the month of March was the release of Nintendo Switch, a brand new console. Dom, you spent a week with it, so give us your impressions.
Sweet.
So, where should I start? Okay. The point you brought up earlier, Jerrad, and a lot of people seem to be under the impression that Nintendo is marketing this as a console first and then a handheld. I'm not seeing that marketing myself, but maybe I'm just blind to it and I'm not seeing the same commercials. I don't know, because all I'm seeing from them is this is a handheld, and that's the first point that I can't hit hard enough is like, this is a handheld. It's like, brought it over. All right, so we can get a good view.
Haven't got any scratches from the dock, have you?
I'm gonna get to that. But it's a tablet. Like, it's a small tablet. It's thicker than most, but it's literally a tablet, not that much bigger than my phone. So I think what really is going to do it for a lot of people is there's some videos IGN did, comparing it to the size of other consoles, and when it's sitting on top of a PS4 or Xbox One, it's like tiny, right? And I think people need to see that, so they're not sitting here like, why doesn't it at least have a 1 terabyte hard drive, and why can't the battery last 10 hours?
Where's the 4K, Dom? That's what I
exactly.
want to know.
I mean, if you just look at it and see how small the damn thing is, like, then you realize, okay, I see why they had to make some sacrifices in order to make it so portable, and that's the point. And that's why I can't stress enough that it's a handheld first that just happens to be able to plug in to your TV, and it does so in a really streamlined way. So, for example, I could very much plug my laptop into my TV, and that doesn't make it, a home console all of a sudden. It's still a laptop, a portable machine first, right? And that's obviously not nearly as streamlined as plugging the Switch into the dock to get on the TV is. But you get my point. So jumping off that, overall, I'll just lay out there first that it's fantastic, but it does have a few shortcomings. But it's still fantastic despite those. So the first, and this is a huge issue, as Jordan alluded to, apparently everyone's docks scratch the screen when you slide it in and out, which is so fundamentally broken.
Completely unacceptable.
Well, Nintendo seems to jump on this because they removed the dock to be able to be purchased from the actual site. So despite obviously all the Nintendo Switches that are already produced, it seems like they're going back and having to work on this. So,
which is good. Yeah, they jumped on it really quickly. I did see that, but it just seems like such a weird fundamental thing.
Seems like an oversight.
Right, like that's the core function of this, is to put it in and out of the dock. That's what all your commercials show over and over, is just in and out of the dock. Like, how do you screw that up? So luckily I read about that before using it too much, and I did test it in the dock once just to see how it works on TV, and it is just as seamless as they make it seem. Like, that's no gimmick. Like, it literally does just pop right off. It's on your screen just like that. And but since then I'm not using the dock until my glass screen protectors get mailed to me. So. And that's fine because, I mean, it's fine for me. It's not fine in general because I've pretty much been playing Zelda portably anyway, because that's just how that game and how it fits in for my lifestyle, I guess, right now. So it's not a huge deal for me right now. Once I get Mario Kart and some other things, I'm going to want to use it on the TV.
Dom,
so that's a huge issue.
I've heard the kickstand is shitty. Tell me about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's this flimsy little thing, and the bigger problem isn't so much that it's flimsy, but it doesn't go back far enough, if that makes sense. So you kind of got to be level with it. So if you're a really tall person, it's pretty much not going to do shit for you because you're going to have to bend your neck over so far. Yeah. It's not adjustable in any way, and that's kind of a bummer. And then it's also kind of flimsy, but that's not a huge one for me either.
I don't know if you're going to get into this, but I have a question. I heard that the UI and everything isn't as quirky as Nintendo's UI usually is for their systems. It's a lot more like seamless and, I guess, professional looking. That's a weird way to put it.
Super clean. It's just right to the point. It reminds me a lot. I mean, actually, in the most literal way, it's a lot like PS4, where you have squares, a main bar of squares going across the screen, and tiles. Yeah, that's a better word. Yeah, super simple, super nice. It does. It gives you some goofy noises when you click on stuff.
Oh, that's good. I like that. Yeah, I like that. That's still Nintendo, so that's good.
They didn't totally abandon their own charm, I guess. So the dock thing, that's an issue, and it's just completely inexcusable. And at least they're jumping on that quickly. So there were apparently a handful of people
absolutely unacceptable.
Yeah.
Harry Potter.
But at least on that issue, they jumped on it, and it seems like they're fixing it. They're getting new docks out there. That's good. A bigger issue is apparently, and like any kind of LCD screen, sometimes you get dead pixels. This didn't happen to me, but apparently there's a chunk of people out there who got their brand new Switch units and have some noticeable dead pixels, and we're kind of told by Nintendo, well, that just happens sometimes, which is true, but they're not going to help you out. Apparently that's not covered under the warranty or something completely obnoxious.
Once again, absolutely unacceptable.
And that one is worse than the dock to me, because the dock is just someone screwed up. This is them being like intentionally assholes. That's just how it comes across.
Dead pixels do happen on malfunctioning screens, which is the problem there. They're saying that it's not malfunctioning and that they're not going to replace it, but that's exactly what it's doing, and it absolutely needs to be replaced.
I mean, that's the kind of thing where I wouldn't be surprised if they catch a lawsuit soon on something like that, if there's enough people. Maybe it's overblown and it's only a couple people, or maybe it's just one rep from Nintendo who said that and shouldn't have. Who knows? But
no, it's on their website. Bad. It's on their website. Their FAQ.
Oh man, so that's officially their stance on it. That's not good. That's not good.
No.
So I think the only other thing I want to point out. Okay, well, a big thing. The battery life is really good. So playing, I think. Yeah, I mean, so every time I've played portably, I mean, it 3 hours is kind of like where I have to plug it back in when playing Zelda. And considering like the scope of that game and everything that's going on, I'm like happy with it. And I never have played it, had the opportunity to play more than 3 hours at a time portably. So that's not really been a limiting factor for me. So,
but is it at is it fully drained battery after 3 hours?
Yeah, that's like, well, you got to plug it back in or you're not going to play anymore. The bigger.
Are you at like medium brightness?
I'm not even sure. I have not messed with the brightness, but that's so whatever the default brightness is, and with like the Wi-Fi on and stuff. So you could probably make it a little bit better if you turn off, Bluetooth and Wi-Fi and turn the brightness down, I guess. But to that point, what I'm more concerned with is how the battery degrades over time. Kind of like after a year, your phone battery just isn't the same as it used to be. That's my biggest concern. Obviously, that remains to be seen how that's going to perform. But
I've never had that issue with my 3DS, and obviously the 3DS is not as powerful as this, so it can't be a perfect one-to-one comparison. But it seems like Nintendo's been pretty good about that. But we'll see. Well, I have a quick question for you too. So going back to the UI and the systems, with the DS, I love the DS, but how does connecting to Wi-Fi, like how quick is that transition? Because for 3DS, it takes a long time, like it slow loads right between screens. And also, how is the eShop? Have you looked at that at all? Is it does it run smoothly and stuff like that?
So I'll start with the eShop. I mean, it runs really smoothly. There's 5 damn games in there, so it's one screen, not much to load.
But is it yeah. Like the interface is it all uniform to like the home menu too? Is it that clean look?
Yeah, it's got that same look, but like I'm not even gonna say like if it's organized well or if it's because
there's nothing organized. Yeah,
it's literally like games and in a tab, and then there's like fucking 5 of them, and that's it. Yeah. So I can't really say much about it.
What about the updates? I'm assuming you had like a software update or hardware update, right, when you first booted it up?
Yeah, I think.
Was that quick?
Yeah, I think it took maybe 10 minutes.
Okay,
but I was occupied with something else while it was going on. So
with the download, does it have like a progress bar? Because the way Nintendo handled like downloads for like the 3DS was like the presence for games dropping into the thing. Like, was it just a bar like you're at 80% or whatever? Yeah.
Yeah, it was a bar, and I didn't try, but apparently you can still play while it was doing that update. But I didn't even try, so I'm not sure.
Last question for me. So I don't know if you can do this on PlayStation. I think you can because it's one of the features of the next gen for Xbox and PlayStation. Can you if you're playing Zelda, can you pop out to the main menu and then dive right back in, just like you can for like 3DS and stuff?
Oh yeah,
that's fine. Okay, there's no problems there. Cool.
Yeah, that's at least modern.
I mean, I think you could do that with Wii U.
Yeah, you can do it with 3DS too. I was just making sure it was still in. With Nintendo, you never know.
Screw that up.
I just wanted to make sure it's still a feature.
They'll release a new 3DS and not give you a fucking charger. So
yeah, I just wanted to make sure. Yeah. I think that's it for questions that I have. I think you've done a pretty good job about it. Jordan, do you have any questions about it, or?
You haven't had any, any malfunctions or anything?
No, and because you shared like something weird going on, and some screens were just blinking out and some crazy shit. But I don't know. Yeah. To me, I'd want to see like bigger numbers, I guess, because it seems like every launch of hardware, you can find some. There's going to be a batch that just is fucking just a disaster.
I mean, this is bigger simply because of the dock. It's so widespread.
Yeah, that piece is just ridiculous because it seems like that happens to every dock they ship.
The thing too is if Nintendo's smart, all of these are correctable problems that they can fix for a bit. Like, I think fall and like the holiday is going to be huge for them with Mario. I think that's going to be great. And what they need to do is they need to focus on fixing all of these issues. So when that happens, we don't have to hear about any of that stuff. And they are fixable issues. They've shown that they're working on the dock thing. The stance on the pixels thing is kind of bullshit, but maybe they change their mind, or maybe they understand, Nintendo might not know how important that is because it's Nintendo. So hopefully they fix these things, and I really hope they do because I really want to get one this fall and holiday and stuff like that. So I'm
trying to buy one pretty soon, but I am a little bit skeptical, to be honest.
The last thing I got to point out, and probably the coolest thing outside of the obvious portability of it, is the what's the word? Just how many different ways it works and how seamless it all is.
Versatility.
Versatility. That I don't know why I can't think of that word. Yeah, no, it's extremely versatile. So obviously you can put it in and out of the dock. You're playing on the TV. You're playing handheld with the Joy-Cons attached. Maybe you're on the couch, you're uncomfortable, and I did this once. Then you just slide the Joy-Cons off. Set it up. Set the tablet on your lap and play like with the Joy-Cons separated or in the grip.
Do you have the Pro controller?
No.
You didn't have an extra $1,000?
Yeah, exactly. But point being, you slide the Joy-Cons off, and literally it prompts you to press each trigger at the same time, just to make sure it's the same controllers, I guess, and then it syncs it right back, and you're right back into it. Like, it's super seamless when you're switching controllers and configurations, and it just all like, you don't have to exit the game, or it doesn't take 5 minutes to sync your DualShock, and you got to plug it back in, and now you're in rest mode and all this fucking nonsense. It's super seamless with all that.
When you put on the wrist strap that slides onto the individual Joy-Cons, be very, very careful, because you could do it really easy backwards, and it doesn't even make sense how easy it is, but it gets stuck. So,
and then one last thing, actually, I promise is the last one. So back to the versatility of it. One thing I didn't expect to be as nice as it was. So when I did test it on the TV, using each Joy-Con independently as a controller, kind of like a Wii remote and nunchuk, super nice. Like, that's surprisingly good.
Do you have big hands?
Just kind of being probably not. I mean, if you had bigger hands, it's probably not going to work as well.
Yeah.
Because the buttons are small and it's kind of cramped. But just in general, like being able to put your arms kind of wherever you want and still be able to play, and that was nice. I was surprised.
Like that one scene in the presentation where he sat on the couch and laid down. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. There really is. There really is something to it. I don't know. It takes a quick adjustment because you're so used to having two hands on it, right? And then last piece, having them in the Joy-Con grip. That's actually pretty good. It feels like a rail controller. There's not really any sacrifices made there. That would work fine if that's what you wanted to do too.
Now, Dom, clearly the most important question I'm about to ask here. Do your hands ever get cold with all those ice cubes inside the Joy-Con controllers?
Yeah, but then you just shake it and then you count how many are in there.
Yeah, and you can feel the individual cubes.
Exactly.